みなさん、こんにちは。Welcome back to NihonGoal. 元気ですか? I hope you're doing well. This is part 2 of Minna No Nihongo Intermediate Lesson 14. If you haven't seen it yet, make sure to check out part 1 of this lesson. In this video, we will learn about the following grammar points. In this video, we will learn about において or における、わけ、のではないだろうか、け、and げ。はい、準備できたら始めましょう。Our next grammar point is 何々において or 何々における。This grammar pattern is used to indicate the location, situation, or context in which something happens. It has the same meaning as the particle de, which means in or at a place, regarding, as for, and so on. But 何々において or 何々における is more formal and is not commonly used in the everyday language. How do we use this pattern? We simply add において after a noun. So noun において meaning noun で or in noun. Another pattern is when we want to use it to modify a noun. We can say noun における. Again, this pattern is formal and is often found in academic papers, formal writing, or professional documents. In everyday conversation, just use the particle de. For example, here we have a noun. In research, you must not overlook important points. We say 研究. 研究 means research. Normally, we could say 研究で in research or regarding research, but here we can change it to において. 研究において重要なポイントを見逃してはいけません。研究において重要なポイントを見逃してはいけません。Another example, the 49th G7 summit was held from 19th to 21st of May 2023 in Hiroshima. 第40回 G7 サミットが2023年5月19日から21日まで広島で so instead of で、which means at a place 広島において was held 開催されました。第40回 G7 サミットが2023年5月19日から21日まで広島において開催されました。Another example, his contribution to this project is immeasurable. So we are using the pattern noun plus における noun, where we are using における to describe a noun. We say, to this project, この企画. Instead of で, we say, における彼の貢献. We are describing his contribution, 彼の貢献, and we are describing it as his specific contribution to this project. この企画における彼の貢献は計り知れません。この企画における彼の貢献は計り知れません。Our next grammar point is 何々わけ. This pattern is used at the end of the sentence when the speaker is wondering why and now understands and is satisfied with the reason. 何々わけ can be translated as that's why or no wonder or that makes sense in English. Sometimes, depending on the sentence, it could also mean it means that or in other words in English. 何々わけ is similar to 何々だからだ pattern. For example, バイト中だから連絡が取れなかったのね. Meaning, oh, that's why you couldn't get in touch because you're working part-time. How do we use this pattern? we can use this with verbs, e-adjectives, na-adjectives, and nouns. For verbs and e-adjectives, we only need the plain form and then we add wake. For na-adjectives, we have to add na or dearu plus wake. So we have na-adjectives na, wake, or dearu wake. And lastly, for nouns, we add no after the noun or dearu. So we have noun no wake or noun dearu wake. Dearu wake is just more formal than na wake or no wake. And there's another pattern which is noun toyu wake, which means for the reason of noun nani nani. Words such as dakara, sore de, naruhodo can be used with wake. So let's take a look at some examples on how to use this pattern. For example, there seems to be an accident. Jiko ga arisou desu. So there seems to be an accident. Oh, that's why the road was crowded. So here we have a verb to be crowded. Michi ga kondeita. Michi ga kondeita. So in past tense. Plus wake. That's why the road was crowded. Michi ga kondeita wake da. So that is just the casual form of this. Michi ga kondeita wake da. Another example, A says, Dad came home drunk and late last night. Chichi wa sakuya yotte to be drunk, osoku kitaku shimashita, to be home late. B says, Oh, that's why mom was mad this morning. We say, Kesa, okasan wa. This morning, mother or mom is mad, okotteiru. Okotteiru, to be mad. Plus, wake. Oh, that's why mom was mad. Kesa, okasan wa okotteiru wake da. Next example, Ken got injured. Ken-san ga kega shimashita. Oh, that's why he can't participate in tomorrow's competition. Ara, ashita no taikai ni. In tomorrow's competition, our verb is to participate or cannot participate, which is sanka suru koto. Ga dekinai, not be able to participate. Plus wake or wake desu ne. Ara, ashita no taikai ni sanka suru koto ga dekinai wake desu ne. Next example is using an e-adjective. No wonder it feels hot. The air conditioner is broken. We say hot or atsui. We simply add wake. Atsui wake da. Oh, that's why it feels hot. Earcon ga kawarete imashita. The air conditioner is broken. Atsui wake da. Earcon ga kawarete imashita. Next example is using a na adjective. For na adjectives, we add na or dearu plus wake. For example, I heard Addie's parents are professional singers. Addie-san no ryoshin wa pro kashu datta rashii yo. Oh, that's why she sings so well. Or no wonder that she sings so well. We say, ah, dakara, that's why. Uta ga jouzu plus na, because jouzu is a na adjective, plus wake. Ah, dakara uta ga jouzu na wake ka. Another example is using a noun. Maiku is the leader of this project, so he has a lot of responsibilities. So for nouns, we add no or dearu plus wake. We say, Maiku-san wa kono project no leader of this project. That's why. So here we can use no or dearu. In this case, I use dearu. Dearu wake desu kara. Sekinin ga ookii desu. Responsibilities is a lot, or he has a lot of responsibilities. Mike-san wa kono project no leader de aru wake desu kara. 責任が大きいです。 So no wonder he has a lot of responsibilities. It's because he is the leader of this project. Another pattern is using noun toyu plus wake, which means for the reason of. For example, her sudden absence is due to illness. We say, 彼女の急な欠席は. So, her sudden absence is due to illness. 病気というわけです。彼女の急な欠席は病気というわけです。Our next grammar point is 何々のではないだろうか. This grammar pattern is used when the speaker thinks something is likely true but not entirely sure. It's like making a suggestion or asking for agreement based from their beliefs. It is used when one wants to express their opinion indirectly or in a form of a rhetorical question. It can be translated as, I think it's A, isn't it? Or it might be A in English. This pattern is similar to 何々かもしれない. For example, 明日は雨が降るかもしれない. It might rain tomorrow. We can use this pattern with verbs, e-adjectives, na-adjectives, and nouns. For verbs, we use the plain form as well as for e-adjectives. But for verbs and e-adjectives, just use the plain form and then we add のではないだろうか. But for na-adjectives and nouns, we have to add na. So, na, のではないだろうか. In casual conversation, 何々のではないだろうか can be shortened to んじゃない? For example, 山の頂上からの眺めは絶景なんじゃない? Isn't the view from the top of the mountain superb? So let's take a look at some examples on how to use this pattern. First is using a verb in plain form. For example, it might be that Mark won't come. He seems to be running late. So I think Mark won't be able to come. Or it might be that Mark won't come. We say, マークは. Our verb is not to come, 来ない. So, 来ます or 来ません in plain form is 来ない. Plus, のではないだろうか. マークは来ないのではないだろうか. 遅れているようだし. He seems to be running late. マークは来ないのではないだろうか. 遅れているようだし. Another example is using an e-adjective. I think this is alright, isn't it? Our adjective is alright. We say これで良い. So alright or good is 良い. これで良い plus のではないだろうか. これで良いのではないだろうか. Another example is using an adjective. I don't think this dress will do. Or literally, this dress is not good or no good. It seems to be a formal event. We say, このドレスは not good is ダメ. So with na adjective, we add な. ダメな plus のではないだろうか. このドレスはダメなのではないだろうか. フォーマルなイベントらしいです。このドレスはダメなのではないだろうか。フォーマルなイベントらしいです。Next example. The view from the top of the mountain is superb, don't you think? Here we have a noun, so we have to add な。山の頂上からの眺めは The view from the top of the mountain is superb. 絶景、絶景、な。のではないだろうか。山の頂上からの眺めは絶景なのではないだろうか。Our next grammar point is 何々け. This grammar pattern is used to confirm something the speaker can't quite remember and wishes to check with the listener whether the speaker's memory is correct. It is often used in casual conversation and can also be used when the speaker is talking to oneself. This can be roughly translated to, what was that again? In English. We can add this to verbs, e-adjectives, na-adjectives, and nouns. For verbs, we can use the dictionary form or the ta form plus ke. For e-adjectives, we remove the e syllable and then we add ke or katake. For na-adjectives and nouns, we add dakke for present tense or dattake for past tense. So let's take a look at some examples on how to use this pattern. For example is using a verb. Is there a test tomorrow? So the speaker is not so sure. We say, 明日はテストが to have あります。We use the dictionary form which is ある。明日はテストがある plus け。明日はテストがあるっけ。So this pattern is used in very casual conversation. Another example. Did I take the medicine? The speaker cannot remember whether he has taken it or not. We say, 薬を the medicine, our verb is 飲みました。took the medicine or drink the medicine. We say, 飲んだ which is the form of the verb 飲みました。薬を飲んだ plus け。薬を飲んだっけ。薬を飲んだっけ。Another example is using an e-adjective. For e-adjectives, we remove e, we add ke if it's present and then katake if it's past tense. For example, was this movie interesting? この映画 our adjective is 面白い。面白い becomes 面白 plus katake since was the movie or was this movie interesting. So we use the past tense. 面白かったっけこの映画面白かったっけ Originally it was 面白かった。面白かった means was interesting. Since we are trying to remember この映画面白かったっけ Another example is using an adjective. For the adjectives, we use だっけ So da is the present plain form of des. So we add it before ke. And if it's in past tense, so deshita, which is datta, plus ke. So dakke or dattakke. For example, was Constantine serious? So our na adjective is to be serious. Constantine さんは serious is 真面目。真面目 plus, so in the past tense, we say だったっけ。コンスタンティンさんは真面目だったっけ Another example is using a noun. So again, for nouns, we can use the present tense or the past tense. For example, is the meeting today? Our noun is today. 会議は the meeting 今日 plus だっけ So since it's in present tense, 会議は今日だっけ会議は今日だっけ Another examples are using question words such as who. For who, we also use だっけ or だったっけ For example, who is that person again? I can't remember. あの人はWho is 誰あの人は誰だっけあの人は誰だっけ Next, when is your birthday again? When is your birthday again? We say, 誕生日は when is いつ誕生日はいつだっけ誕生日はいつだっけ Where is your house again? Where is your house again? We say, 家は your house, where? どこ家はどこだっけ家はどこだっけ Our last grammar point is 何々げ This grammar pattern helps you talk about something or someone, not yourself, who seems to be a certain way. It's like saying feeling of or seems like someone or something is in English. This is similar to the grammar pattern so ni or so na. which is used to describe something or someone based from the speaker's perspective. For example, 彼は疲れているそうだ. He looks tired. We can use this pattern with verbs, e-adjectives, and na-adjectives. Although 何々げ and 何々そうに or そうな are both used to convey impressions or appearances, 何々げ is more restricted with the words that it can be paired with. For example, for verbs, we can use verbs in stem form plus ge or verbs in tai form minus the i syllable. So, ta ge. For example, the verb tsukaremasu, we use the stem form tsukarege, looks tired. Or the verb ikitai, I want to go, or he wants to go. We say ikitage, meaning he seems like he wants to go somewhere. For e-adjectives, we remove the e syllable and then we add ge. For example, yasashi, we say yasashige. And for na-adjectives, we simply add ge after the na-adjective. For example, shizuka, so shizukage. So let's take a look at some examples on how to use this pattern. For example, using the verb in stem form, Cornelius looks tired. I wonder what's wrong. So based from what the speaker is seeing, he or she is forming a conclusion or making judgment. We say, コルネリウスさんは Our verb is to look tired, which is 疲れます. We use the stem form 疲れ, so we remove mas, we add げ. コルネリウスさんは疲れげ plus だ. コルネリウスさんは疲れげだ. コルネリウスさんは疲れげだ. どうしたのかな? コルネリウスさんは疲れげだ. どうしたのかな? Another example, Constantine seems like he wants to go on a trip. He showed me some photos. From showing the pictures of photos, I have this feeling, or the speaker has this feeling that Constantine wants to go on a trip. We can say, Constantine-san wa wants to go on a trip. 旅行に Our verb is to go, ikitai. We remove the i syllable. Ikita plus ge. Ikitage, da. Just to end the sentence or des. Constantine さんは旅行に行きたげだ. Constantine さんは旅行に行きたげだ. 写真を見せてくれたよ. Constantine さんは旅行に行きたげだ. 写真を見せてくれたよ. Next is using an e-adjective. For e-adjectives, we remove e. For example, Gunther's smile looks gentle, but I want to know more about him. We say, Gunther's さんの笑顔は Gunther's smile, our adjective is 優しい or gentle. We remove e. We say 優しいげだけど but どんな人のかな知りたいな。グンターズさんの笑顔は優しげだけど、どんな人なのか知りたいな。Another example is using a na-adjective. For na-adjectives, we simply add ge. This room seems quiet, but in reality, I can hear the noise from outside. We say, この部屋は To be quiet is 静か。So, 静かげ。だけど、but 実は外の騒音が聞こえているんだ。この部屋は静かげだけど、実は外の騒音が聞こえているんだ。はい、お疲れ様でした。今日のレッスンはどうでしたか？役に立ったら LIKE ボタンを押してくださいね。もしコメントとか質問があれば、ぜひ下に書いてください。I hope you learned something today. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out any of the future lessons. And if you want to support this channel even more, please consider becoming my Patreon through my Patreon page where you can get the lesson PDF and other study materials. And to all my Patreons, 本当にありがとうございます。 Thank you so much for your continued support. Okay, so that's it for this lesson. I will see you in the next one. Mata ne! A big shout out to our elite scholars, Maiku, Cornelius, Constantine, Mark, Sergio, Adi, and Caroline. And to our study buddies, Paul, Karas, Jean, Pires, Manikantan, Kritokrator, Guy, Sa, Silent Zero, Aishwarya, Ali, and Rohit. And to all our Nihongo students, 本当にありがとうございます.